All right, today we're talking about mobility training. What is it? It is increasing or improving relative motion between bones. Where are we talking about when we say between bones? We're talking about segments of the spine and the ribs, ilia on the sacrum, scapula on the ribs, and then the femoral head on the ilia, humeral head on the scapula. So as you can see, we start more central because it affects the entire system. Okay, so we know bones move on bones. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? I give a shit because it can increase and improve acceleration, deceleration, and change of direction mechanics and capabilities. Okay, for acceleration, the more my center of mass is pushed forward, the more extensor tone I'm gonna have on the backside of my body, and that's gonna limit my ability to flex, especially at the ankle and the hips, and that's going to limit my ability to change shin angle and have a positive shin angle during acceleration. All right, deceleration. The more my center of mass is pushed forward, the more my pelvis is forward, the harder it's going to be for me to descend my pelvis while allowing my hips to move freely. All right, change of direction. The more my pelvis and center of mass is pushed forward, the less my pelvic bones are going to be able to move in this reciprocal manner that allows me to get in and out of a cut and get in and out of my hips efficiently and effectively. All right, why else should we give a shit about mobility training? Because it can increase or improve exercise technique, AKA get more of the muscles we want working and get less of the muscles we don't want working. For example, mobility training may improve relative motion to the point where you can use a technique that allows you to train a squat for strength and force production capabilities, but you're able to keep these good joint positions that allow for free movement of the hips, which is, as we said, desirable for all these three components. Who else gives a shit about mobility training? If you're in pain, improving relative motion can decrease sensation of pain. That's due to distributing forces more evenly throughout the tissues and joints. All right, who else gives a shit? Lastly, if you're in mobility competitions, you might give a shit about relative motion. One side note, a lot of the far left strength coaches are trying to push mobility competitions over everything, and I hate it.